So we're going to go through all the civilizations now. The Aztecs are infantry and monk civilization, meaning that the infantry units have +9 attack, and have been bumped a little bit up with +10% hit points. The pikeman also has +20 hit points and very slight splash damage, which makes it very significant impact against mounted civilizations, whereas Aztecs were usually quite rubbish against any mountain civilization. The monks get +1 range and have a +60% healing rate because they are a monk civilization. And yeah, as a team bonus, they've all got one attack extra for infantry. Bruns are a foot archer civilization, the longbowman, with the longbowman and all unique archers can destroy rams at a slightly less than moderate rate, and there's a castle build time decrease, so it casts a bit faster and arrow towers cost less. And for the team bonus, I've got added for archers, which have 5 hit points extra. Also with the brands, they have cavaliers, which have 145 HP instead of the 120 because of bloodlines and because every civilization apart from Franks gets bloodlines now, and because they've got +5 HP as well. Byzantines are anti-infantry and bombard civilization. The building hit points have been doubled. That's also for the castle, so there's very significant amount of hit points for them, for the castle. I've changed the skirmishers to arbalists in terms of the -25% cost, because skirmishers aren't particularly that useful, and if you're like in late game, skirmishers and halberdiers would be like too much of a bonus to have. Camels also have +1 melee and +1 pierce armor, so they've got +1 for close range and range armor. And bombard towers have a 50% discount, which makes them cost the original amount, or should do anyway. And monks have 100% heal speed, which really bumps up civilizations such as the Americas civilizations, so that's Mayans, Incas, and Aztecs, and also Huns, which also have a monk with not the monk, the missionary, with a fast heal rate. So also have a siege civilization. They've got most of this standard stuff. Siege ram have +3 melee armor, because I want to promote the siege ram as being their main sort of unit. The siege onger, which traditionally was sort of normal, because of the fact that it's got too much HP, I've decided to sort of decrease the range of it and increase the blast radius, which makes it more fair for other civilizations. For example, Koreans have only +2 instead of +3 range, so it's quite significant in that. or it would be significant if they still had the same sort of range. And oh yeah, they also get +5 HP for siege. The Chinese player is foot archer and siege civilization. They've got the Zhong ballista, and the Great Wall has also been bumped up significantly. So walls and towers now have twice the amount of hit points. And their team bonus is the same with +45 food. The Chukanu archers have +4 against unique archers as well. Franks have have a cavalry minus 10% food cost for as a team bonus, which is so that if you had any allies that had paladins, then it would be a massive bonus. Usually people get like if it's sidetracked, so like if there's 3 civilizations, someone sort of thinks they've got to make siege onagers or something ridiculous as well. So that's just to sort of like point out that if they just all make paladins, then they've got actually a great chance of winning. Or the best chance anyway. Goths are infantry civilization. They get a +25 population, which is 15 more. They have to take a 10% tribute fee because they're greedy. Well, because it's too much of a population bonus anyway. And I've decreased the amount of the speed it takes for barracks units to come out. And Palisade's got a big sort of bonus there as well as the outpost. Huns are a mobility and raider civilization, which should satisfy most people. Monks should actually be written as missionary. That's a glitch there. But missionary is from Spanish, and it's added in for the Huns. Because obviously I disagree with some things. And they needed like I was playtesting against the Koreans, and it turns out that they sort of like, if they don't have like well, Huns only have cavalry units, so if Koreans sort of like build war Vikings, then it's GG. So they need to be able to convert against Koreans, and Koreans, one of the things I've done against the Koreans is remove their, what was it, faith or something. Remove their resistance. Is it atonement? No, redemption. Oh, it is faith. Yeah, I've removed their faith, and they also don't have heresy either, so they change colour instead of dying for Koreans. But anyway, the Huns have a +1 attack as a team bonus, and cavalry archer also have a +1 range as a team bonus, and they've obviously got the added unique unit of a cavalry archer, and Tarkin is split into 2 between a castle elite Tarkin and a stable battle Tarkin. The Incas It's a cheap Eagle civilization. Infantry costs 15% less, and Eagle warriors cost 15% less as well. So they get the other infantry bonus of 15%, as indicated there. Because they also are an infantry unit. Buildings cost 15% less stone, and they've added I've added a 5% gamma rate for farms, just as a sort of a slight bonus to them, because they had something like farms built 50% faster or something. So I've been adding a few bits and bobs in as well, and some temples work 20% faster with them. So if you've got an Incas ally in your mains, then always build using temples and not your barracks, and unless you want halberdiers, or in order to get your elite Eagle warriors out faster. Whereas they won't come out as fast if you build barracks. Elephant and camel civilization, that's the Indians. Camels have +1 armor, PS armor, just like the Byzantines. They also have +5 attack versus buildings, and yeah, I ain't really done much to them because they're quite good anyway. The Italians are archer and cavalry civilization. They have bombard cannon range +1. Cavaliers cost 33% less gold. And they've got their special anti-hand cannoneer unit for every other civilization that they are allied to. The Japanese have usually a trebuchet unit and also an infantry unit civilization. They have faster attack, which seems to be very significant. I've given them a sort of a dino sort of splash attack area as well, and +4 PS armor. Oh no, that should say +1 PS armor. That's another glitch. They've all got +1. 20% castle build time reduction for castles, and arrow cost is also decreased. We've seen that with the Brins already. That's the same for mains as well. The cavalry archer also has a massive decrease because it's one of my favourite strategies to like to build towers and cavalry archers. It's very fun. And trebuchets are 20% accurate as a team bonus, which is very significant. It makes trebuchets much more effective. As we've been on quite a few times, with Koreans, the siege hunger and gunpowder civilization. So they get the hand cannoneers for reduced cost, and they get boosted with a 25% increase in train time, and the 25% decrease, I should say, train time. The infantry have +5 melee armor, so that sort of like leaves eagles and stuff like that at the door, even though their wagon does damage against the eagles, and the hand cannon does damage against the eagles as well. So I've been play testing and balancing it quite well. The siege hunger has -1 range, which is quite significant if you know how to really take advantage of that, I suppose. They also have their typical, arrow tower plus range, which is quite significant, like going forwards, because usually they're very, very defensive, and they're still very defensive, but they can sort of like build towers and sort of like creep forwards a bit. The team bonus is that Onigas cost 20% less, which is massive, really. It means the Koreans, more so than anyone else, can just sort of spam Onigas. Maguire's agility and tower civilization. Cavalry and cavalry archer get speed bump up, and arrow tower range is -3 because you don't want them, reaching out too far. You get +6 attack, +3 versus cavalry, +6 versus war and hussar cost 10% less, which is not really significant. And obviously they still get a bit more speed. So the cavalry archer and infantry also get another +1 speed, so they get +2, plus 0.2 speed. That's why they go 1. I think there should also be another speed increase for their uniques as well. Mains are eagle and for archer. The archer can be really boosted via the shamans. That could just all be healing them, and they could just be firing archers away. And the arrow tower and the castle is there again, as I've said. And the stone towers and gates costs less, and the archers attack have a +1 for the team bonus. Mongols have a siege and cavalry archer civilization. They're quite what I've changed is the siege cost, so they cost 10% less wood, which is very much needed with the Mongols, as their siege is sort of like the main thing about them, but they've run out of wood even in Michi, so they need it quite a lot. And they've also got another +5% siege cost as a team bonus. Persians, as you know, is typically enough, and there's nothing changed there whatsoever. Saracens are anti-cavalry and camel civilization. The cavalry, change that. It's down here. Camels have +2 attack. Also, I've adjusted both Persian war reference and Saracen main looks to balance them out far more, because obviously they've too much bonus and too overpowered. Anyway, the Slavs are also a siege, mainly a siege civilization, but they have their cavalry unit as well. Military buildings support 5 population, so you don't need to build houses at the start of the game, because each time you build a military building you get +5 population. That's massive. Siege units are 15% cheaper. Again, those siege civilization. Scorpions have 0 minimum range and +20 attacks versus buildings. And they also have that +1 melee armor, heavy scorpions and cavalry also offer +1 melee armor. That's a team bonus. So the Spanish are gunpowder, and a bit of cavalry. So gunpowder units fire 15% faster, and that is massive. The trade carts also generate 33% gold. That used to be their team bonus, but I've changed it to be their personal bonus because it's too overpowering in team games. The gunpowder units have +5 accuracy. That sort of like goes with the gunpowder, firing faster, and it's massive. The chivalry civilization, descendants, elite Teutonic knights. They have ×2 for healing range, and I've changed the conversion resistance, so it's a personal bonus instead of a team bonus. And also they also have a monk 50% conversion recharge rate as a team bonus. The unique unit, the Teutonic Knight, has been increased in speed, so they move faster, and yeah, they're generally about the same. Might need to do something with the siege nigger with the 10 Teutonic Knights, I'm not sure yet. Turks have our bombard and gunpowder civilization. They have very actually, I'm just thinking, Koreans, did I mention that fortifications are built 50% faster? I'm not too sure if I did. But yeah, that's very significant with Koreans, because obviously Koreans need those kind of like walls between the enemy, so they can kill them without killing themselves. But yeah, anyway, Turks. Gunpowder units have +25% hit points, that's normal. Hanking units +3 attack, +20 gold, that's something I've added in. Champion costs -20% gold, -20 gold, no gold cost. Bombard tower is also decreased by 33%, which is like second rate to the Byzantines, which have a 50% decrease rate for the bombard tower. Yeah, there's quite a bit of boosting going on for cannon, more cannon units, and also another accuracy for Hankangi units. So, in terms of bombard cannons, I've also recently, but I've also decreased the cost by half. So they only cost like 100 gold and 100 wood. And the same can be said for the Japanese. The trebuchets also cost only 100 wood and 100 gold. I think it's a bit more for bombard cannons, but it's been decreased by half. Finally, the Vikings, which have been undergone very significant change, is infantry and for archer civilization. They've got significantly more HP, and the arbalists and scorpions fly faster. The berserkers are broken into the elite berserks and the blood berserks, and the blood berserks get that significant attack versus cavalry and very significant bloodlusted like unit, which sort of like charges head on in a suicidal fashion. And as for the elite berserks, which are much more resilient, much more higher HP and stuff like that, which can hold like paladins. And also for the team bonus, all infantry have +5 hit points. That is about it. I've put the Sun Eagle Warrior down, but none of the other new units are in here because it's very difficult to alter it, especially when it comes to adding buildings, which requires to edit the executable file itself, whereas I only have access to the data files properly, so I can't add in the Sun Temple. So that explains why the Sun Eagle Warrior is underneath the barracks, and why I haven't put in the Shaman and other units in either.